So we're glad. But yeah, Sarah, go ahead and
Okay.
let's start the
Okay,
program.
everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. And this is the last day of this week. Uh, I'm just introduce myself very quickly. I'm Sarah M. I'm from Cambodia. I grew up. My childhood was beautiful, but my college age, my life was turned upside down because the communist Khmer Rouge took over our country, and they come in just basically destroyed our life. And I struggled to survive. I struggled so badly that I almost died, but thank goodness I'm still alive. I'm still alive. And not only that, I have a courage to run away, to escape from captivity. And you already know that I made it. I made it out. I'm here. So that's important to know that when you want something bad enough, for me it's freedom. For me it's like family. So when you want something bad enough, you will always find something, some way to get out. So I have no resentment but contentment. Now I am content with this, um, with with the way that we are here in in this beautiful country, and I'm so thankful that we can do this. We can talk to our guests and share our story, share our inspiration. So that's all I want to say. And if you like to know more about me, about I have my book, How I Survived the Killing Fields. It's available on my website, and I'm also an inspirational speaker. So both Lee and I, we can support any group that need a speaker. So
And Debbie too. Evidently, Debbie is also a public speaker. So many of
yes,
our guests here are authors and speakers and coach. So I'm gonna get my background a little really fast so we can get to Debbie because um, she spent time with us. So I'm really happy. So my name is Lea Tran. If you have not gone through this platform, welcome. And I hope you stay because we have a great program. And we have great story that we share with you um, every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So my background is I am a former refugee from Vietnam. Um, Mass exodus from the boat people back in 1980, 79, 80, in that time frame. So ever since I have been thriving from the surviving mode and have recently gave a TEDx talk and wrote a book last September. I finally get the courage to tell my story and share with the people because there's so many level that I feel that refugees and being underrepresented, their voice have not been heard as much. And this is a very diverse country, and I just feel like we all have story, and if we have a story that could help us to preserve a piece of history and get people to understand what our culture is like, then how beautiful would that be. So that's why I wrote my book. And now I'm also a life coach and I am a speaker. So you can find all my information on my website, leetran.com. And you can reach out and contact us if you have a story that you want to share. And today I have my special friends here, Debbie Pickus, and I just love her website. If you want to get something fire up, please
yeah.
go to her website. It's called Team Fireball, team-fireball.com. And such a powerful place that all this fitness and physical physique thing is just going to make you fire and you want to just like change to your gym clothes and punch her back or something. But Debbie, welcome. It's such an honor to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here. I appreciate this. We had a few logistical things happen, when we first, on my end, of course, but I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah, we do have that from time to time, all the time, almost, like sometimes Facebook, sometimes internet, sometimes powers, who knows. But we're glad you're here. So I know that without much introduction, you are a speaker. You are also a founder of Chief Empowerment Officer. I love that. Chief Empowerment Officer.
Yes.
You are CEO. We are CEO of, whatever capacity we want to put our energy in there. So tell us your journey. Tell us that who you are. Why are you in this field of training women and other people to get rid of their self-doubt and, all this team building things that you have as a speaker, as a coach, as a trainer?
Thank you. First of all, both your stories I did not know, so that was very moving, and wow, grateful that you are both putting yourselves forward to tell people about that, because people need to know that it can be done, that there's a strength behind actually overcoming the adversities, whatever they are, right? Some are very large, as were both of yours, and then other people's are maybe more everyday stuff, but it feels very large. So great, great that you're out there speaking and doing what you do. So yes, I started Team Fireball 6 years ago. I'm laughing that you said that about the website, because we began as fitness team building. We began and we morphed into some self-defense training, and we still do offer those programs to the corporate workspace, right? I mean, that's who I work with. And with those programs, I don't have like a gym or something where we're teaching self-defense. There's none of that happening. But I've got to update my website with all the newest stuff, and it's not on there yet. So if you go to the website, you're not going to see, probably some of the stuff that I'm up to now, but you can reach me regardless if you want to ask more questions. So Team Fireball originally started, as I said, as like a corporate team building. Before this business, I owned a title boxing club here in the north suburbs of Chicago, with a friend. It was a franchise, and I was trying to bring corporate clients in, and I had been having a dance, a conversation back and forth with this one big company out here for about 9 months, and thought that they were going to bring us in to do some things with them. And at the last minute, they bailed. And I'm like, what can I do to get corporate clients in? So I came up with the idea of doing this team building events that were activity based, get people moving, but also to integrate power and confidence and mindset and personal development and all those things along with it. So you weren't just coming in and punching a bag, you were kind of, adding the mind body connection, everything. Because I've got a martial arts background, and so mind body connection is really important, obviously. So it started with that, and then that business failed, but I took the idea on the road, and that's how Team Fireball got created. Along the way, and even before it got created, I had struggled in my life. I mean, I'd been through a divorce. I'd been through some bad relationships. I had been through some seriously bad financial things where I just, I had money, I had an opportunity to do things. I owned a home, and I lost everything. And I spent a lot of time blaming myself and beating myself up. I usually, when I speak, I talk about the abusive relationship I was in and the things that I heard. The abusive relationship, though, was with myself. And I think often people don't think that way. They think that, somebody else is talking to them, and that's abusive. But the things we say to ourselves sometimes, especially we women, right? I know men do it, but I feel like women, we just really do that. And so once I realized, it's amazing. One day I had an epiphany, And I imagined my daughter, who's my beautiful 26-year-old girl now, but at the time, it was probably 10 years ago. She was, 16 or 17. And I imagined her expression, her face, if I spoke to her the way I was speaking to myself. And suddenly it was like, oh my,
Yeah.
I cannot do this. I would never speak to her that way. And so
Isn't it powerful how we just turn the table around and say that, would we talk to the person who speak to us like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And yet we say that to us all the time.
I know, exactly. So it was an epiphany for me to suddenly realize, and she has this like cute freckled face, but when she goes to cry, like I can see her face crumbling in before she gets there. And I envisioned her face doing this, and it was like the worst. So I kind of went on a quest of, number one, stopping speaking to myself that way, right? And I still have my moments, but I catch it. But also because I was going through this financial crisis, I was still blaming myself, right? I was still kind of in there. Eventually, I ended up at this business coaches conference. And on the first day, she said, it wouldn't matter if I lost all my money tomorrow. I know I could make it back. Making money's easy. And I suddenly got tears in my eyes and felt like I got punched in the stomach, because I thought, I don't believe that about myself.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, and it made sense. Well, if I don't have that belief, no wonder I've not made a lot of money, or no wonder I make money, but then I lose it, or no wonder I just financially, I was in all these bad places, right? And I grew up with a father that said, find a man to marry you and take care of you. I was never, taught to invest, to save, to take care of myself, to have a career, to like really be independent. And so here comes my hubby and my puppy. So you might hear some noise over here. But anyway, so I realized, like, okay, wait a minute, like, yes, it's my fault, but really it's not my fault, because I didn't know, right? that person that came and made all those mistakes didn't know any better. And I think what I see out there sometimes is that not just women, right? Women and men, but a lot of women, they blame themselves. They're just, could you hear the dog slurping water? It's like a very loud sound.
It's real life. It's real life.
It's real life. There's some real life happening over here in my mansion you see behind me.
Oh yeah.
And so anyway, losing my train of thought, but a lot of people they'll do that. They'll blame themselves. And what you have to do is, what I recommend is, forgive yourself. Like when you are on a growth pattern, you learn. And then you look back and you're like, I was so stupid. I can't believe I did that. But you didn't know any better, right? So then it's time to, like, once you know, what can you do about it? Anyway, I ended up meeting a coach from that coach who had a very powerful mindset methodology. I know you said you're a life coach. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a life coach, but I am a transformational mindset coach and a breakthrough coach. And I help people.
I call interactively too. I just get my coaching certificates. Believe it or not, the last 6 months I have been training, and I do call myself transformation. But sometimes I just work.
Absolutely.
I just, life is transformation.
Right, exactly. I know there's so many different names, right? But what we do is we help clients transform, like, their thinking, their finances, whatever it is in their life, right? You're transforming somebody. But this methodology saved me, and I ended up deciding to get certified in it. When he offered it, it was really more for myself. I wasn't even going to use it as a business.
Yeah.
But then I thought, like, I threw something out there at one of our self-defense trainings, and a woman came up to me and said, what you just said sounds like me. And that became my first client. So when you look at my website, there's kind of a cruddy page that says coaching. It doesn't have a lot of great information on it. Don't judge by that. Just come talk to me.
No, I want to say that, first of all, it is so powerful when you're using the physical training to actually work on your mind, because a lot of time we don't see the mind. The mind is kind of abstract, but physically, when you are able to have that strength physically, somehow that confidence just seep into your mind and it go hands in hand. So I love the part that you are not just saying, I'm a trainer, I'm a mindset trainer, or I'm, it's like, I really see that they go hands in hand.
It really does. It really does, Lee. So even when I was doing self-defense training, my focus was really more of awareness, how you hold your body, where are you, your presence, all those things. And then we would teach some basic moves. And I still do these programs, but it's the whole picture, right? It's the mind-body connection.
Right.
In my bio, it says, an expertise is in mind-body connection and how to use it as a power source, because you're right. It's a circle, right? It's not one or the other. It all goes together.
And second of all, I want to commend you about that, self-talk. And I think we all have it. We actually did have a person, an author, who wrote a book about what do you do if the bully is you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so cool,
Exactly.
It's like she wrote a book about that. And we are bullied, but we don't bully other people. We're kind to other people, and we bully ourselves most of the time.
Yes, I have a talk that starts with slay your mental bully, and then it unlock your inner, and it might be badass, it might be leader, it might be writer. I just did a conference about writers. It's just, you unlock your inner, whatever that thing is that you want to unlock. But first you got to slay that bully.
But we as a woman, we nurture to everyone, to our kids, to everybody, but somehow that we just incapable of nurturing ourselves. We're self-critical, we're self-judgmental, and something that I'm glad that you bring it up, because if we recognize that, and a lot of times we do make mistakes, but we are not the mistake. That's
exactly.
That's what I want people to know, that, we all make mistakes, but we are not the mistake. Even people who wrong us, or people who do it to ourselves, we should not hold the grudges.
No, you're right. A former coach of mine used to say, like, forgive the sin, or forgive the sin, not the sinner, something like that. Yeah. It was like, the sin is the thing.
Right. Condemn the sin and save the sinner, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly like that. Or punish the sin, not the sinner. I don't know. You're right. You've got it.
Most of the time, women are so critical of ourselves. We expect too much of ourselves.
Yeah, and we don't celebrate ourselves enough, and we don't slobber on me. He's coming over. He's like, opportunity to.
Must be a big dog.
Oh, he's huge, huge. We have a 14-month-old. If I could show a picture, because I've got the virtual, it's hard to just turn the camera on. But we have a 14-month-old. He's half lab, and then the other half is pretty much crack house, because that's where we breastfeeding from.
That dog's probably bigger than me.
Oh, he is. He probably
bigger than me and Sarah put together.
He's 80 pounds. So he's he's long. Takes up a whole couch.
I used to have a big dog like that.
Yeah. He's a gentle giant.
That's great. So tell us that in your facility, when you bring in corporate people, do you train them on self-defense first, physical, and then you train in the mindset, or how?
Yeah, you know what? So that's how we started. And I didn't have the facility anymore. So once Title Boxing Club went away, we didn't have a facility. So we would go into companies. And I've worked with like the business resource groups and companies a lot of times, but they're always looking for an event to do. So we were doing, kind of half the mindset part and the awareness part, and half physical. A lot of times just the mindset part. But the focus now is I'm doing workshops that are interactive. We offer a board breaking event that we can do. So
I did do one of that. I did one of that at one of the networking, and they hold up a board and they said, just go and punch it. And
yes,
it was good. It was good.
Fun. Yeah, it's really fun. I know I should always have a board with me when I do these, and like I can show the board. But so that's an add-on. Like if people want to do that that is like a breakout session at a conference,
Uh-huh.
or as a special part of a conference or something, or people want to do that as an
Right.
event at their business, yes. But the self-defense, that's really on hold. You know, it's not my main source of income and work that we're doing.
Right.
But I don't, you know, if somebody's like, hey, we want to bring you in, we'll do it, you know.
Uh-huh. So you have some background in the training, in the
I do.
okay.
I do. And I've got a fitness background. So I taught group fitness I actually just stopped teaching right when the pandemic started because our gym closed, but I've been teaching since 1999.
So give us an example how you see the transformation, either from a group or from a particular clients that you work with. I've just, you know, I just wonder how quickly from the physical aspect or from the training that you get them to actually switch that mindset to be more confident especially in a male dominant world too, right?
Yeah, you know, and I have done a lot of work with women in law firms and women in male dominated industries. So typically I'm teaching and coaching one-on-one. And what I'm finding is that clients will just release some kind of limiting belief. So we have conversations. We start with, where are you? Where do you want to be? What's holding you back? What's the problem? And we dig down about 5 or 6 or 7 layers. And I mean, I've had my current client had a breakthrough on our first session because we just got to, you know, like I could hear what she was saying, and you know, I brought up this thing and she said, oh my gosh. Right. And then, so that is the thing that shows up everywhere. Right. So we can always go back to it and correct it. In a group setting, doing these workshops, you know, it depends. Some people think you have a switch around money. Some people, another client of mine, basically in 3 months working together, exceeded the entire year she had a year before in sales. I had a client that is looking to leave her company and start her own thing. Another client who was getting more clients after we began working together. I mean, I think, you know, and you know this, Lea, but it's like, as soon as you become aware of where there's these limiting beliefs, where something's been hiding, I mean, it's the lens from which we view everything in life, right?
Isn't it true that they
exactly
all have the answer in front of them? They just
Yeah.
could not get to it because there's a block,
Right.
some sort of blocking.
Yeah. Well, Les Brown says you cannot see the picture if
When
you're in
it. Exactly.
I love that
When
line.
you're in it, when
So
you're in it,
simple.
you can't, but it's easier
No.
for somebody else to
Right.
look from outside. And that's what I'm saying, that we, even as a coach, need a coach, because
Oh,
sometimes
absolutely.
we just can't see ourselves.
No.
And I was in the decorating business for a long time. You can tell people what paint color, how to decorate, you know, what fabric choice. But when it comes to your own home, you have doubt all over.
Yeah.
Every single way.
Yeah, there's blind spots. Sometimes you're in it too deep. I mean, I reach out to friends that are coaches. I mean, I have coaches that I work with always in my business that have mindset and can, you know, kind of get that straight. But some of the people I got certified with, those are the people I call, like, all right, here's what's going on, because we speak the same language. So here's what's going on, here's what's up, and then boom, boom, boom. You know, we can work with each other. Because I mean, I had a week last week where I don't know, I hit a wall, and I was not.
We do that.
Oh yeah, I was not in a good mood. I was not in a good mood. And then I was mad at myself for not being in a good mood. It was like, how dare you not be in a good mood? You should be doing this job. You should, you know, I had that conversation. And then it was like, stop it. I did this on a call yesterday. Somebody laughed at me so hard, like the air slap, right? It's like, snap out of it, Deb.
So you got one child?
Pardon me?
You say you have a girl 26 years old. Is she?
Yes. No, I have 3 kids actually. So she's my baby.
Okay.
And I have an older boy who's almost 31, who's getting married this summer. He's the one that's getting married.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
met
right.
him in our group.
That's why that gown looks gorgeous on you.
And I may not, the funny thing is I found another gown that I like even better. So that may be the one, but
Okay,
you know,
okay.
it's a little more simple, but, and then I have a middle son, who's in Colorado, who's 20.
Oh, nice, nice. A great family. I think that the vaccine thing is easing up, and I'm looking forward to more events and more things.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's starting to open up out there, which my middle son, besides being an entrepreneur and being a real estate broker, a newer broker, he also does like AV. He does sound for festivals. So in Aspen, they've got shows all summer long, right? And he works them all. And then last year, everything stopped. So he's starting to come back, and he's like, thank God.
Beside the wedding, which is very exciting, what else is exciting that you want to share with us?
Okay, besides the wedding, okay. You know what? It's so
any
fun.
Great collaborations, any upcoming
I am speaking. I'm doing one of my workshops in a group called the Coterie for Women. It's a COTERIE. I think it's up on my page, but I can share that link. That's next Thursday. So I'll be doing an hour workshop with them. And it's basically turn your biggest profit killer into your biggest asset. So that's that talk. I will be working with some salon owners, so hair salon owners. At the end of the month, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing yet. They wanted something mind body. We don't have enough time to do the boards, I don't think. So I'll see. I haven't decided yet, but something fun to get them fired up.
So you don't have the facility, and then you just go to people's place and start doing workshop?
The facility is not, no, that's gone.
No, actually it's good, because COVID-19 is probably going to.
Oh, it would have closed. Yeah, we would have closed down. We would have been destroyed. So no, I'm so glad we don't have it. Yeah,
that's great. That's great. So that's really exciting, and I think things will open up, and hopefully events where people will get together again. And
yeah, it's starting to happen. It's great that it's starting to happen.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you know what? So work-wise, that's what's going on. I mean, I've slowed down a little bit just because I'm focused on the wedding, and I'm going to do a little travel this summer. So my mind is kind of there. The wedding's in August. So by the time that's over pretty soon, then it'll be Labor Day, and then we'll be into fall.
I know.
So I'm booking speaking gigs. I'm booking, I am working with one company actually in July. I've got to wait for them to confirm the date, but I'm doing my workshop virtually. So they don't have the physical for a group at United Airlines. And so
that's exciting.
It is exciting. They actually brought us in for self-defense a couple of years ago. So it's nice to be going back.
And talking about vacation, I mean, before you get on, Sarah and I just talking about, we were actually really looking forward for some weeks off. We love our audience. We love to be here, but I'm really looking forward to take 2 weeks off the air. And
when you're doing that,
we do some light traveling a little bit, get together with families.
When's that?
Sometime the end of June. We're going to take 2 weeks. We'll stay home. We do a little bit of traveling, and we'll come back after 4th of July.
Okay.
But I am actually planning to go to Chicago by the end of July. So
now, where are you now?
I am in Florida. Both of us are in Florida.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to Florida at the end of July.
We're going to cross the airplane and say hi to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you in Chicago City?
I'm sorry?
You are in Chicago City?
I'm in the suburbs, so I'm not in the city. I'm in the suburbs. Yeah, I'm about a half hour out. Depending, well, in Chicago, everything's by amount of time it takes you, not miles.
Yeah, my brother's in Chicago. I think he's pretty much close to the big lake. So
okay, nice.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see my niece, my nephew.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. We'll cross on the airplanes.
Yeah, well, no, you're going in June. You're coming up in June.
No, I'm going in July, the end of July.
Oh, you are? Oh, well, we will cross then.
Yeah, we are. We are definitely. I know. friendly sky.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I've got a friend in Tampa, so I'm going to go see her, and then we're going to go over to St.
Oh,
Pete.
you
and-
can see Sarah. Sarah's in Tampa.
Are you? And then another friend of mine is they rented a beach house for the summer, so we're going to pop over to there and hang out at their beach house.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
No, it's good. I think, it's very hopeful, even though I think in Europe and in other parts of the country has been a little more strict because they have a lot of cases rising and they have more death. I actually got 2 deaths in my family in Germany, and it's a little sad, and they're both from
So
COVID.
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's awful. I know. Hey, listen, it's very real.
I'm still going to be very careful because,
Yeah.
this is invisible. And even though we have the shots, but the new variant, who knows what's going
You
on?
just don't know. You
Right.
just don't know. And you have to live life, right? You cannot
Exactly.
stop living and
Exactly.
live in fear. I mean, at first when we knew nothing, yes, I understand. But at this point, I've got friends that traveled the entire time. They were in Florida. They have a motorhome. They went everywhere. They
Yeah.
there was no problem anywhere. So, you also don't know what numbers are real and what aren't. You have to make your own decisions.
Just have to be careful when
Make
in the
your own decisions.
crowd. Just keep your distance a little bit and wear your mask. And those are minimum that we can do. Let's help out. But it helps when everybody gets shots, especially the older folks, because they are the vulnerable populations.
Yeah.
But
So
it's-
are we talking about contentment versus and
Are
resentment?
we talking about contentment? Yes, we
This is
are.
contentment right
You
now.
are so
Very
content. I
contentment.
didn't even have to ask you.
Very content. Well, it's interesting because resentment is just another one of those limiting beliefs, right? It's just an emotion. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know this. Being resentful just means that you've got a belief that something should have been done differently. That
Yeah.
person shouldn't have said that. That person shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have to do this. I shouldn't be this way. All those things are just limiting belief thoughts that lead to that emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think when you don't expect as much, you don't resent as much.
Yeah.
I think when you start expecting and you didn't get it, and then you resent it. So for me, I learned, I will do my best, but I won't let that expectation spoil everything. So when you get it, you are totally happy because you didn't expect that much. It's like if you're expecting making $50 and you're making $50, you're happy.
Yeah.
But if you're expecting, I'm going to make 5,000 today, and then you make 50, and then you're going to be sad and resent.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
the realistic and the expectation.
well, and also I think that what comes with expectation is you can expect, but also accept.
Yeah.
Because
Be realistic too. Right.
Yeah. I mean, expect like, I'm going to go out and have an amazing time tonight. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say which thing exactly has to go a certain way so that I have the amazing time. I'm not going to put those conditions on it.
Exactly.
But if you go and say like, I'm expecting to have a great time. Right. And you just sort of set your mindset into like that powerful decision of everything. It's going to be great. Like, because otherwise we have like, well, it should look like this and it should look like this. And as soon as it doesn't look like this, your mood goes crazy. Right. And
I think, many of us are really type A. If you're in business, you have to be in that sort of mindset that, I need to do this, need to do that. But if you're putting a goal and expectation saying that, okay, this month I'm going to generate this much. And if you get sick, you can't resent because that's not something that you are planned for.
Yeah.
So there's right. So I think, the same thing. I think Sarah and I would really much agree in the sense that we came from a place of very disadvantaged. I have to say that we came to this country, poor, not understand anything, but we expect a certain thing. And there's time I resent because I was like, I wasn't born in a regular American family. I couldn't speak well like A and B and C, does. And I couldn't write my essay the way they can describe themselves. I couldn't, there's a lot of expectation on myself that I couldn't deliver. And then I get upset at myself.
Yeah.
So I get to the age that I say, you know what, I'm not going to compare myself with anybody. Sure, I get the disadvantage, but now I'm not disadvantaged. I've been here for a certain amount of time. It's, it's up to me to deliver what I want, but I should not be holding the grudges to myself and saying that that's not fair. I didn't come here. I didn't have this. I didn't have heirlooms. I don't have, it's like, so.
Yeah, that's never a good mindset. And it's
exactly,
the thing I believe is that when we get in those suffering, we call it, in my language, it's suffering or primal states, whatever the language you want to use is, but those states of being actually put you in a disadvantage, right? Because you're very reactive and you're not resourceful, and it's just, nothing. And sometimes being stressed out will get you moving, but really long term, those states of mind do not serve the purpose of what you're trying to achieve at all, because it's just, and it puts such a toll on your like physiology, your body.
It does.
To be it. Resentment is killer.
And that's why we put resentment and contentment because like that's one person, my mom's friend, who's a very wise guy. When at my wedding, he came and gave me a toast, and he said that wish you all the happiness in life, and happy is what you're content with what you have. And I didn't really grasp it at a time, but as I grow older, like if I'm contenting of what I have and knowing that all I have, I can turn that into an asset, like you said, it's like make that into an asset for yourself, then contentment will bring me happiness. But if I'm comparing myself with all the people, different circumstances than I do, then I will always be holding the grudge and not be able to move forward.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love what you just said, because gratitude, right? Gratitude is, my coach has said, like having a gift card from the universe, I mean, basically you like being grateful for everything that you have. It doesn't mean you don't want more or desire more. It doesn't mean you're not going to move out of that place, but having gratitude for what you are, what you have, with the vision of more abundance or creating more, right? Or different or whatever you want to do. Because people are just like, I hate where I am. I hate this. I hate that. I'm frustrated. I'm a complainer sometimes too. I admit it.
We need to. Sometimes we just need to rant.
We're human beings. Okay, we're not perfect. But when I remember, like, as soon as you get in one of those moods, if you can find some things to be grateful for right in that moment and take yourself out of the equation and look outside of yourself, it's amazing what it does. I mean, it's incredible. It's like magic.
I know. Well, I know that we belong in the same networking group, and I took Violet's one of our leaders in our group, and I have start writing my gratitude as soon as I wake up every morning since January.
I remember you saying that.
Since January, I have been doing that. Marie Kondo got that 3 years journal.
So
it's only about 5 lines. It's enough for me to say I'm grateful for 3 things. And it helps. It helps to bring a different perspective. No matter how painful, how much trouble you have during that day, you find 3 things that you can thankful for.
Yes.
And I'm thankful for Sarah every time that we're on here. She have kept me on my ground for the last 1.5 years.
Good job, Sarah.
I'm grateful for that. Contentment is beautiful. It's happy for what we have, and we always want more, but we are content. We are not craving unstoppable for more, but we are patient. We can receive some more, but we are content as it is right now. So
Yeah.
Yes, we are content having you up here and talk about contentment with us.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think too that being grateful and content for what you have and having a desire for more, but not from a place of scarcity and what I have isn't good, just from like an up level, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, again, a mindset shift on that. So
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for coming on with us. I know that you are very busy, and we're grateful that you're here sharing your story with us and sharing how you empower women from across the board, from their physical to their mental. And I think between the two, mental one is the strongest one. Not the saying that physical is not, but if you can get through the mindset, that is pretty much can get you through anything.
Yes, agreed.
Well,
Me.
yeah, thank you. We want to honor your time and our audience time. So if you have anything that you want to share with us, feel free to put under our video and how people can reach you, your website. I'd love your website.
Thank you.
I will probably love it more when you've done reconstructing it or updating it.
I'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, take your time. The
year.
summer is enjoy your family is the most important thing.
Exactly.
We're also gonna take some time off and enjoy our summer.
Yes, enjoy.
Yeah, I hope everybody take the time, pamper yourself, and give yourself a little credit. What you have done so far the past years and a half is not an easy ride. And if we get here and safely here, just be happy and be content of whatever situation we're in, because it could get worse. It could be better, but just think about, it could be worse. We're glad that we have vaccine, and we're glad that things are going back slowly together, face to face, and getting events. So so there's so much to be thankful for. All right, I think we're gonna sign off, and we hope everyone has have a beautiful weekend. Sarah, you have anything else to say, or Debbie, you have any last word?
I just thank you so much for inviting me on. It's been lovely to talk to you, ladies.